What's up, everybody, and welcome to another tournament vlog, this time for August 30th, 2024. This was an interesting tournament for me because so far it's the furthest I've traveled for a tournament, almost 40 minutes away. And what was really cool about it is it kind of brought folks from both sides of my state, as it was sort of the middle of the state. So I got to run into some players I normally don't get to run into, although I've only done one tournament prior to this. But it was some new faces for me. So let's go check in with that guy and see how he's doing. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another tournament vlog. It is August 30th. We are doing another in-person modern RCQ. So much like the last video we did, I'll try to touch base throughout the tournament. At the very least, we'll get a opening that I'm doing right now, and then one at the end of the tournament. If I have a time in between rounds, I'm going to try to come out and kind of talk about what's been going on and what I've been running into. Tonight we are rocking a Mardu energy deck. It's got a lot of different little tricks in it. I am copying a winning deck from another RCQ out in Portland I actually saw. I'm not super excited about it. I didn't have a lot of time to tweak the deck the way I wanted to tweak it, but I am using at least a winning deck, and then my mana pieces to this particular deck. But overall, I'm just excited to get more practice, to do more RCQs. So I think today will be fun. We are now post elimination or banning of Nadu and Grief. So that should be an interesting dynamic. I imagine I will see more mirror decks. We'll see more Mardu energy. We'll see more Boros energy. I imagine I'll see more Tron. We're still going to see mono black Necro dominance. I just don't think we're going to see as much Goryo's Vengeance. And they're definitely not going to see Nadu. I also think we're going to see more of the One Ring. So I am packing 4 Harsh Mentors in my deck as well. So all in all, pretty excited and ready to get in there. And let's hope the spirits stay high, and we'll touch base later. Look at that bright-eyed and bushy-tailed guy. The night was still young. You can start seeing in the next clip, I start to fade a little bit. It's starting to get late. But I have some really good insight into the matches I had and kind of what unfolded from there. So let's go talk to that guy and see how he's doing. What's up, everybody, and welcome to tournament vlog number 2 on August 30th. This tournament was a little further away for me. The first vlog was pretty short because I was running really late. I normally like to show up to a tournament, about a half hour beforehand. So I literally showed up 3 minutes before it started. So we got a quick 2-minute vlog number 1, but I'm currently on a buy, so I can give you a little bit of an update. This drive for me was like a 40-minute drive away. And then I have another one tomorrow, which will be a little bit closer. It's only like 10-15 minutes away from where I live. So that's pretty nice. But I said in vlog number 1, I came in with a Mardu energy deck. There's a motion sensor light that keeps turning on and off, so I'm gonna go in and out from the dark. And it's a pretty well-rounded Mardu energy. Has the traditional Ajani package with Ocelot Pride, Guided Soul, as well as Flage, and then Bowmaster. You can know Thoughtseize, some Fatal Pushes, Galvanic Discharge, and I think a Static Prison. And in the sideboard, we have some options. I think my deck is pretty weak against Storm decks. I played I'll kind of talk about the order I played decks. So the first deck I played was a Domain Zoo deck. Won the first game pretty handedly, pretty quickly too. It just got out with a Flage and started turning it sideways. So that worked really well for me. And then game 2, they had a Scion of Draco with a Leyline Binding. So it came out and had the alphabet soup. So it had flying and vigilance and lifelink and hexproof and trample, I think. It had 5 different things, one for each color. And he had 2 of them. And so he got 2 of them out by turn 3 and just was swinging, and I had no answer to it. So it was a little rough. In game 3, I was so foreign to the card. In retrospect, I really should have sideboarded in. I had a surgical extraction. So I could have thought seized, which I did. I thought seized the sign of Draco, and then I had a surgical extraction, but I didn't think I could use it on it. Or wait, what was it? There was something, or I didn't sideboard in the surgical extraction, so I couldn't even use it on it if I wanted to. I also have a Nihilist Bomb and a Rakdos Charm, so like I had several ways to like get rid of it once it went to the graveyard, and I didn't understand the card. So that was a mental error, just an understanding the card error. Definitely learned from that going forward. So game 2 just kind of completely got blown out, and then game 3 got down to the wire. It got pretty close, and then he got a couple big creatures out, and there wasn't much I could do about it. I was drawing blanks on getting rid of those. I was really kind of upset with myself. If I had surgical extraction in the deck, I really could have taken care of it, because it was Scions of Draco again that really started doing work for his board state. So ended up losing that one 1-2, and then the next game was Ruby Storm. He won the first game pretty handedly, and then second game, was it second game or first game? I think he won first game. Second game, I sideboarded in, yeah, it was second game, because I sideboarded in surgical extraction, and I managed to thought seize Wish out of his hand and then surgical extraction it, and then he scooped. He was like, all right, let's go on to game 3. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's the way to deal with that. And then game 3 came around, and I started getting some damage down. I got him down to like 5 life, got my Ocelot Pride out there, or didn't get Ocelot Pride, got Guide of Souls, got a Johnny out there, got a Johnny flipped, was swinging with cats, buffing cats, gaining a little bit of life, gaining a little bit of energy. And then I Ragavanned a Wish, and then I think, if I'm recalling correctly, I had enough mana to be able to play the Wish, which would have then put it in his graveyard, and then I had a surgical extraction again, so I could have surgical extraction Wish out of his hand. However, come to find out later, he sideboarded in his Grape Shot, so, and he had Grape Shot in hand. So I thought I just like made a mental error, which I probably did. Like I probably should have just done that play. That was the optimal play. But unbeknownst to me, he just had Grape Shot in hand, so he managed to just keep going with his Storm Count, and then Grape Shot me from his hand. I did end up surgical extracting Metamorphosis, which was probably the best thing in his graveyard, because it gave him mana and gave him card draw. It really slowed him down. It bought me a couple turns, but I didn't have enough to kill him. If I had one more turn, I think I could have killed. Well, I for sure could have killed him with what was on my board, but I also had a Flage in hand, so I could have gained a little bit more health. I don't know if the 3 more health, because I was at 18 health, would have stopped him from what he was trying to do, but maybe the 3 extra spells he wouldn't have been able to do. So all in all, I think the deck, at least in my area, there's a lot of people playing Storm decks, I see. So the thing of it is I gotta find more answers or build more answers into my deck for Storm. So I probably should have put a Dampening Spear in. I do have on order a card that doesn't let you cast cards other than from your hand. So It's something priest. I'm forgetting what the card is, but I'll pull it up in a video, or I'll put it over here somewhere. What card I'm talking about. So overall, went 1-2 on my first game. Went 1-2 on my second game. I think I'm playing pretty tight. I think I only missed one trigger in the first game, and it was just like an energy and life trigger. It wouldn't have made a difference. Second game, I did mistakenly try to go face with a galvanic discharge, forgetting that it only does creatures, not any target. But it didn't matter anyways because I needed the energy counters. So I used the energy counters to buff the cats, to swing with the cats because of Guided Souls. So ended up working out. So overall, this tournament, we're playing the Swiss rounds, and then it will go to top 4 for the finals. And I think you just have to go 2-2 with the number of people we have to make it into the top 4. I'm not too sure. So there's still hope, maybe for me. The bye counts as a win, so I'm on a bye right now. So maybe if I win my next one, if that's how it works. I'm not holding out high hope. I really kind of see this as practice, playing tight, figuring out what my local scene is playing and adapting my decks to that. And I really think I've been able to do that. So overall, doing exactly what I want to do out here, and we stay in tune or in touch for part 3 of the vlog. All right, we'll catch you in a little bit. What an overview of the first 2 matches. I'm almost 72 hours now out from that, with future me taking a look back at that clip. And one thing I wasn't super aware of, but it really affected my speed, was my mana base. I knew I wasn't happy with my mana base going into this. I also, well, I guess I just didn't really understand how much that was going to affect things. And it really kind of showed in the performance. Also, just some of the experiences I'm running into hadn't faced a Domain Zoo deck yet. I knew of them. I knew what goes into them. Just didn't know all the interactions, and it was really interesting to face that deck. And then faced yet another Ruby Storm deck. Was a little bit more prepared, but still didn't have quite the right answers. Having put the deck together so fast, I didn't have the Damping Sphere in there, which I really needed the Damping Sphere, which would have helped me a ton. Buy me just a couple more turns, and that probably would have won me the game if I could have bought myself a couple more turns in that match number 3. So all in all, the attitude was positive. I was starting to fade a little bit, as you can see, but I don't think it is quite as bad as what you're going to see in the next part here. What's up, everybody, and welcome to vlog number 3, tournament vlog number 3. Just finished up the day. It's almost midnight, and I gotta head back home here. Real dark out, obviously, but ended the day at 4-1, and my 1 was a bye. The last match of the day was or my last 2 matches of the, I don't remember. Oh, one was a Martyr Proc deck that was just purpose built to destroy energy decks, and essentially creates an infinite loop of where I can't destroy anything because they're able to bring it back, and then like every turn they're generating like 12 health. So they're just getting 12 health every turn, blinking things in and out of the graveyard, protecting them so you can't destroy them. So yeah, it was called a Martyr Proc deck, and I've studied the top 10 decks, and it definitely wasn't in the top 10, but apparently it's an old deck that works really well against energy. And with Jeskai Energy, Mardu Energy, and Boros Energy, some of the top decks being played right now, and most common since Nadu is gone and Grief is gone, it made sense that the guy was like, hey, I'm going to build this deck specifically for the matchup, and he's in the top 4 right now. There's also, in the top 4 was an Eldrazi deck, a Mardu deck, and then the Eldrazi deck, Mardu deck, I don't know what the 4th one is. Yeah, I don't know what the 4th one is. But all that being said, my last matchup was a Mardu Mirror, and they managed to get the Sun Cleanser out before I could get the Sun Cleanser out, and really like shut down my removal. and then was able to get their flage going, and then they were able to get their guide of souls going. So they put counters on everything, and everything had flying and was big, and I couldn't remove it because I couldn't get um, energy counters for my galvanic discharges, even though I had amped raptors and galvanic discharges in hand. I think I had three amped raptors out on the table at one point and didn't get any energy off of them. Couldn't play any cards out of my deck either, just because of that. So um, overall, rough day. Went 4-1. But I feel pretty good. I got to chat with some people, talk to them about some of the deck choices and like what are some things I should do differently, some things to be on the lookout for, some counters. So overall, it was good to just like chat with people. Everybody here was pretty cool. Nobody really was, stuck up or anything like that. Overall, the games were actually kind of fun. There was a little bit of banter. It was a good time. And I learned a lot. My sideboard definitely needs some work, so I want to get home, go to bed, wake up, and try to do some work on my sideboard. I definitely need some answers to Storm decks. So Twiddle and Ruby Storm, I need some answers for. I need an answer. I think I have answers already built in for the mirror with like Sun Cleanser. And then Graveyard Trespasser has been really good. I might put a couple more of those in my sideboard. I'll take out maybe like Surgical Extraction and put in a couple more, maybe one more Graveyard Trespasser, and then we'll put in, because that's really good at countering like Flage, in pulling Flage out of the graveyard. You also have some Nihil Bomb. I think I called it a Nihilist Bomb earlier, but a Nihil Bomb is a good one, or Rakdos Charm is another good one. But we don't need a ton of graveyard hate anymore. I also found out that Ob Nixilis is really good against Dimmer Murktide and against the Frogtide deck. So that's running the Psychedelic Frog that can just get out of hand. So I think I'm going to reevaluate my deck, maybe put Ob Nixilis back in, or put it into at the very least, put it into the sideboard and see how that goes. So definitely just have some sideboard work to do. I think the main deck is pretty good. I'm trying to think if I would change anything in the main deck. Oh, some of my lands. I don't have ways to draw, besides Elegant Parlor, I didn't really have any other way to draw white-red lands. So my land curve was a little weird, and it didn't really limit me too much. I usually had an answer, but I should probably put a few more things in there. I think it's Sacred Foundry or something Foundry that probably needs to go in there. But I will, I'll update the mana base a little bit, and then a little bit of work on the sideboard. But I think the main board's good. I think I'm feeling good about Mardu, and then until I get those new cards that I ordered, I think I'm going to be rocking Mardu for a little bit. But I think there's some really interesting play with the One Ring and Boros energy when I get a couple cards that will help with the mirror matchup. As well as ones that will help with some of the Tron, or not Tron, like Eldrazi decks as well. So all in all, good day, good practice, learned a lot. Also learned a lot about Magic the Gathering Online. It's something I've kind of set up, but I have yet to get into, and there was a guy in here that plays a lot of it, so he gave me a lot of good, interesting tips and tricks. So I'm going to probably be doing that and really trying to get that Magic the Gathering Online set up, so that I can start grinding some games. He also told me all about the rental program, which I'm a part of, a rental program, but he said it's like you essentially can go infinite and always just like have cards to play, and there's even ways to reduce your weekly fees for the rental program by like turning in winnings. So if you do decently, you can essentially just like rent for free. So that's something that I think is really interesting, and I'll have to pay attention to. So for now, signing out of the last vlog for August 30th. My tournament vlog here, and one of my RCQ attempts went. I'm trying to stream early in the morning and doing my Bronze to Mythic runs, or even any Magic content that I'm doing. So that means I've been getting up early and going to bed early, and I didn't even leave there until almost midnight, and still had a 40-minute drive home. And I usually go to bed like 3 hours earlier than that. So I was very, very tired, and I had a tournament the next day, of which we'll be doing another tournament vlog here. So go check that one out when you get a chance. But that was it was a long day for me. I definitely learned a lot. Got to chat with some folks. I got to know some folks, and I think that's part of this journey as well, is getting to know folks and finding groups of people that you can play with and learn from and bounce ideas off from. So it was really interesting to talk to folks about my deck construction, some cards that were essentially dead or no good anymore, some different ways to practice, and overall just learning how to be on my toes, right? So facing a mirror match, did have the right answers, maybe not enough of. I think I only had 2 sun cleansers. Maybe I should pack 3 because we are going to face a lot of energy decks in general. So that might be something I would change for my sideboard, making sure those damping spheres are in there. And then just know that you're going to face some odd decks from time to time. So that Martyr Protect deck was really interesting and specifically built for energy decks and countering those decks. So it's just knowing that it's not always going to be the top 10 decks. You're going to face different things. You're going to have to be on your toes. You're going to have to know how to play optimally. But overall, I think it was really, really good. That 1 and 4, the 1 was still the buy. So technically I went 0 and 4 on the day, but never said that this channel is where you come to follow a pro, but rather hang out with somebody in their path to becoming a pro. So until next time, we'll catch you at the table.